God bless America on this beautiful day. So today on the Grand Dam, we're going to be replacing the throttle position sensor. Now, the symptoms of a bad throttle position sensor can be rough idle, fluctuating RPMs. What I have is when I get around like 35, 40 miles an hour and step on the gas, my RPMs go up and down like it doesn't know when to downshift or upshift. It also has a rough idle, so I'm willing to bet it is the TPS or throttle position sensor. Now the throttle position sensor is right here. I already loosened up the bolts because they're kind of a pain to get to. I had to unplug the EGR sensor and the EGR valve for the air hose or air line itself to get some room. But it's a pain in the ass, especially if you don't have the right tools, and I lost my T20 socket, so I'm kind of customizing my own and just put a little tip inside a socket right there. And trust me, it's pretty hard to get to. By the way, do not use a power tool on those because you can strip them. I'm using it very carefully because I can't get in there with a regular wrench to turn, so I'm just using it very carefully. Thankfully, they weren't Hercule'd in there or hulked in there. They were, pretty easy to get out. Now, once you got the bolts loosened up a little bit there, you don't want to pull it out all the way because you're going to have to unplug it first. And this is the sensor. You just pull this tab right here back and pull back, and it will come off. All right, once you got that plug pulled out of there, I took the bottom bolt out already. I'm going to take the top bolt out. Be careful you don't drop them down in the depths of hell because, well, you have to have a nice bright light to find it, and you got to get a magnet to fish it out. And trust me, I did that already with the bottom bolt. So just be careful not to lose them. All right, guys, so I got it off, but just to compare the old one with the new one, here's the old one, here's the new one. Now, what you'll notice is these are spring action, right? So when you twist this inside this little knob right here, you twist it counterclockwise, it's supposed to spring back. Well, it does not. I don't know if I could show you with one finger, but I could turn it. See that? Maybe get you in the light a little bit. And I'm trying to zoom in here as much as I can, but look at that. See that? Turning it freely and it's not springing back. So this one is bad. So we're going to go ahead and show you this one and compare it. This one I can't turn freely. No, I can't. So, this one is good. Basically, when you turn that inside part right here, I just can't do it because this one's actually good. There's a spring in there, and it just pushes it back to the original position. And as you can see right here, that nub that connects to the sensor is what turns that knob when your throttle opens and closes, and I'll show you right now. See? So we're going to go ahead and replace it, put the new one on. And all you do is the reverse of what you did to take the other one off. You're going to go ahead and plug it in first. I'm going to move the camera so you guys are able to see that I did it. All right, and once it's on there, just make sure it clicks on there. There you go. And you'll just place the sensor right back on there. It only goes one way, just the way it goes on. Obviously, the plug will be on that side. And then you just put the small little bolts back in. Now remember, do it carefully. I'd recommend doing the bottom first because it's the hardest one. Just try not to lose it down there. What I might do is put a rag down there, that way I can catch it if it does fall, because I don't feel like fishing it out again. And there you see I have a rag down there. So now if my bolt decides to fall, it'll fall into the rag. Now, as I said, put the bottom one on first. Makes it a little more easier. Also, make sure you do a hand tighten first. Don't just put a tool on there and tighten it up. Make sure you're not, over threading the threads on there. Also, again, do not use a power tool. I repeat that with as much as I can. Do not use a power tool on this. All right, I got the bottom bolt and I got the top bolt on. So now let's just tighten them up nice and snug with our wrench, and we'll plug in our EGR sensor back into there. See if I can show you guys where, right here. And then our EGR air tube right here. All right, guys, I got it back on and tightened up. By the way, to put this back on to the EGR, you just do the same thing with the sensor. You just put it on there until it clicks. And with this hose here, to take it off, I forgot to mention, there's a little tab right here. You're just gonna pull it and push it over and pull this back while you're pulling this tab to the right. But we're putting it back on, so we'll just push it on there until it clicks, just like the sensors. There we go. All right, we're done. We'll take our rag out of here because we don't have to worry about nothing falling now. All right, guys, that's all for the throttle position sensor. I'll make another follow-up video. Oh, sorry about my outside kitty over here. She's meowing at me. But I'll make another update video on the throttle and see if that helped at all. I'm sure it probably did. I didn't have a check engine light or anything, but I did have the symptoms. And most of the time, if you have a bad throttle position sensor that's not really that bad, most of the time you won't get a engine light. So, as always, God bless you. God bless America. Hopefully this helped you, and have a wonderful day.